Did the Iubavitcher Rebbe Shlit say he is Mashiach? The words "I am Mashiach" were not heard from the Rebbe Melech Hamoshiach Shlit. However, the Rebbe Melech Hamoshiach Shlit spoke about many things regarding the idea of Mashiach that allude only to him. And we'll see this from a few sichos talks from the Rebbe Melech Hamoshiach Shlit. First, the talk from the night of Simchas Torah Tafshin Mem Vav, which is 1987, 1986, 85. Over there, the Rebbe Melech Hamoshiach Shlit brings that the leader of a generation, the Nusi of a generation, he is the Mashiach of a generation. And why? Because the Nusi of every generation, the leader of each generation, he is the Moshe, he is the Moses of the generation. I know that the Moshe, geulaschem and geulaschem, Moses, which is the first redeemer, he is also the last redeemer. So it comes out that the leader of a generation, the Nusi, is the neshama of Moshe, which is also the neshama of Mashiach. Comes out that the leader of a generation, wherever it may be, he is the Mashiach of a generation. Which this idea alludes only to the Rebbe Melech Hamoshiach Shlit. That's one place. A second place is in we know it's before the Persian Gulf War. The Rebbe Melech Hamoshiach Shlit was speaking many times about the famous medrash that says that the year the King Moshiach will be revealed, the king of Persia and the king of Edom or Aram will be fighting, and there'll be a war, and people will be trembling, and the Jews will be trembling, and then Mashiach will announce to everybody the time of redemption has arrived. Higia geulaschem. Says the Rebbe Melech Hamoshiach Shlit on the Sicha of Shabbos Pashas Chayesara, Tafshin Aleph. The Sicha is also printed in the Psur Sagula, Siman Hay. There, the Rebbe Melech Hamoshiach Shlit says that we already merited to have the announcement that Mashiach already announced. Time of redemption has arrived. Mashiach already announced. Higia geulaschem. And we look around that time, and who is this person that's announcing Higia geulaschem? Whoever he may be, he is the Mashiach. And we know that the only person that's announcing in that time Higia geulaschem is the Rebbe Melech Hamoshiach Shlit. So here's another point. The Rebbe Melech Hamoshiach Shlit's point, alluding straight to himself. He is the one that's announcing Higia geulaschem. He is the Mashiach. Another sicha is in the Dvar Malchus of Tazria Mitzvah Tafshin Aleph. Over there, the Rebbe Melech Hamoshiach Shlit brings in footnote number 67 that from the Gemara brings that every single yeshiva, the rabbi, the Rav would teach that his name is Mashiach. For example, Menachem and Higia, he would teach his name is Mashiach. In the yeshiva of Shilai, they would teach that Shilai's name is Mashiach. And in the yeshiva of Yanai, they would say that Yanai is Mashiach's name, and in Higia is Mashiach's name. Says the Rebbe Melech Hamoshiach Shlit, and us to them, we have to answer after the Gemara, learn from them, and also say regarding our Rebbein. Right afterwards, the Rebbe Melech Hamoshiach Shlit points out this that is in the Gemara, Ben Higia, Menachem Ben Higia, as Mashiach's name, not exact. We find in other places that Mashiach's name is Menachem. Not Menachem Ben Higia, Menachem itself. It's for itself. That is Mashiach's name. So is brought in Eicha Rabbah and in Yerushalmi, and other places. And Rashi was supposed to also allude to this idea that Ben Higia is not supposed to be here, but for some reason it was taken out of the text. In other words, really, Menachem is Mashiach's name. There's other ideas pointing out that Mashiach is Menachem. They're saying we have to learn from the Gemara and say after our Rebbeim there are Mashiach. Then it points out that Menachem and Higia that's right in the Gemara is not exact. It's supposed to be Menachem. And this again is alluding to the Rebbe Melech Hamoshiach Shlit. Fourth sicha is the sicha of Kuntres Beis Rabbeinu Shem Bavel, where the Rebbe Melech Hamoshiach Shlit brings that the leader, the Nusi of Chasidus, he is the Mashiach, not only the leader of generation, but also the leader of Chasidus. And it points the Rebbe in the order why, because the Chasidus is the Yechida of Torah. Therefore, that reveals the Yechida inside every single Jew. That's the idea of the Mashiach inside every single Jew. So look around. Who is the Nusi of Chasidus? Who is the one that the teacher, the Rebbe that's involved in teaching Chasidus? Whatever it may be, he is Mashiach. And in another place, Also in Kuntas Shabavel, the famous footnote number 92, where the Rebbe writes over there that base Mashiach is the gematria of 770. The base 770, the address of the Rebbe Melech Hamoshiach Shlit on Eastern Parkway, is the numerical value of base Mashiach. And we know who lives there. That's the Rebbe Melech Hamoshiach Shlit. So here we see that even though we did not hear clearly the words, I am Mashiach, but it's certain from all the slichas brought here and many other talks that we did not bring here, that the Rebbe Melech Hamoshiach Shlit recognizes, teaches, encourages the fact that he is the Mashiach. Higia, Rebeinu, Rabbeinu, Melech Hamoshiach Shlit.